way up here to get past the blade. First thing I want to do is cut my 2 sheets of wood. The bottom piece is going to be 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood, and then the top piece in 3/4 inch black melamine.
Never gonna give you up.
So now I'm going to drill the 4 holes in the angle iron so I can attach it to the table saw. I'm going to drill them oversized so I have a little bit of play on getting that lined up perfectly with the top of the table saw. Hopefully, got these lined up right. Gonna go on there and some nylon locking nuts.
Somebody got blue. Knocked. Don't use your first aid. I got something for you. GG's.
The bolts on my table saw and then screwed them down. I also talked about having this wing perfectly in plane with the table saw. I decided to have it go a little bit below the surface so I could calibrate it post screwing everything to the table saw, and then I can add little spacers on the slide blocks here. There is a little bit of flex to this melamine, so to combat that, I got this extruded aluminum. There's no flex to this at all. And I'm just gonna screw it to the bottom side of this, and that should keep it nice and flat. We got that screwed on the bottom of the board, no more flex, quite heavy. So the next thing I gotta do is transfer these 16 holes to here so we could screw this down. This is a little tricky, but I found some transfer screws, which are basically little screws with a point on the top. And out of this, and I'll know where to screw. So check this out. It's a little screw with a point on there, but it's also has an end that will accept a wrench. So I could screw that into the block, and it's got a little point, and I'll keep doing that. So I have them positioned roughly where I want them to go. If you're wondering why I have them so close together, is they need to come all the way back here without falling off the track, giving me
40 inches
of crosscut, and then they need to come all the way up here so it at least gets past my blade. I did order a couple more that I'm gonna put on the end here. That means they're gonna come off the track, just chipping out way too much. I want it to look good, and it turned out to just be really ugly. The core on here is just difficult to screw into, screw strip. This is no good. So I remade it out of plywood, and I got it screwed down. And it works so good. I am so happy. These two come off the track, and it pops right back on with no issues. And there's a little bit of, like, when it comes back on, there's a little bit of
Thank you for that cover. GG's.